One of the stories this week that just absolutely blew me away. It was yesterday when the Republican chairman of the so-called bipartisan House Ethics Committee introduced a resolution this morning to expel George Santos of New York from Congress. And the chairman is Michael Guest of Mississippi, a Christian fascist from Mississippi. He introduced the expulsion resolution. They want to throw his ass out. And in a statement accompanying his 5-page resolution, Mr. Guest said, quote, "The evidence uncovered in the Ethics Committee's investigative subcommittee investigation is more than sufficient to warrant punishment, and the most appropriate punishment is expulsion." Ta-da! Throw his ass out. Look, what have I heard? I've heard so many of these Republican members of Congress saying things like, he should be thrown out immediately because he is just not able to live up to the glory and the wonder and the beauty of the U.S. House of Representatives. Oh, really? And Santos has displayed an inability to rise to the level, given his egregious violations, rise to the level of being an honorable representative. And the resolution also said that Representative George Santos is not fit to serve as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives, at which point I felt my gag reflex kick in and kick in and kick in. Santos? This fucking grifter? I mean, this little punk ass Santos? So he's a thief and a liar and a hypocrite. Members of Congress, look in the fucking mirror, especially you people on the so-called bipartisan House Ethics Committee. Are you kidding me? They call Santos. They say that Santos is not fit to serve as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Hey, you guys, take a look at your goddamn Speaker of the House. That fuckwad doesn't even admit that Joe Biden is president. I mean, take a look at the Q-bitch from Georgia, Marjorie Taylor Gruesome. I mean, look at all these people. And you're going to tell me that this little baby-faced shithead from Long Island and Brooklyn or wherever, George Santos, he's not fit? Santos is not fit because he's a thief. Because he takes campaign contributions and goes to sex websites and gets Botox treatments. Jesus Christ. Hey, House Ethics Committee, you have 150 members of your body who tried to support the fucking overthrow of the U.S. government. And you're going to talk to me about George Santos and his little pissy-ass petty theft? And that makes him unfit? Well, of course it does. But what about the people in your caucus, you Christian fascist devils? What about the people in your caucus who still will buy into these ridiculous Christian fascist theories and conspiracy theories and bullshit and lies and deceptions that, Joe Biden's not president. Besides, he's too old to run again. Goddamn people make me sick. On Friday, today, after this report was issued, old blabbermouth Santos, and what a pathetic chunk of human waste this guy is. I mean, he really is. He survived 2 expulsion efforts after a bunch of reports in the New York Times and other publications expose this asshole for what he is. He's a liar. He's a con man, blah, blah, blah. And federal prosecutors have now charged him with 23 felonies. Well, Donald Trump has 91 felonies. So the fuck what? I mean, come on. But as of today, support for this jerkwad appeared to be eroding. See, a lot of the Christian fascists did not want to get into this because it would mean removing a member of their caucus, and they only have 4 seats to spare, right? But as of today, dozens of lawmakers in both parties indicated that the ethics report was the final straw for these righteous, upright, solid citizens in the United States House of Representatives. Amen. Woo! This shit's been going on with Santos for what, a year? This shit's been going on with Trump for what, 8 years? I mean, have we not reached the point where we just can't handle anymore of the orange bastard? So Santos, according to published reports, Santos now has a decision he's going to have to make. And boy, this is a big one, huh? The decision is whether to stay and fight. His recommendation that he be kicked to the curb, or resign as quickly as he can in hopes of currying favor with prosecutors who are going to come after him whether he's in Congress or not. Don't forget, he has 23 felony charges listed against him. Federal charges. So what do you think Santos is going to do? I mean, you're really concerned about that, aren't you? I mean, neither am I. But you see, if he leaves Congress, it means he's going to give up the only decent paying job he's ever had. Well, what's the annual salary? $175,000 a year for House members? And he's got lots of legal bills now, right? Well, anyway, yesterday Santos went after the investigation. He called it, I love this, that's a police smear. A smear. Sounds like Trump. Well, it is Trump. These people are all cookie cutter Trumps. It's a politicized smear. And I'm going to continue to serve my constituents for as long as I can. I really care about my constituents. Bah! Then we have these little hypocritical pricks like, here we go, Nicole Meliotakis. I'll bet she's Greek. She's a Republican from Staten Island. Okay. She's a Christian fascist from Staten Island. And she had opposed earlier expulsion efforts. I mean, she knew what was going on. Give me a fucking break here. Now she says, quote, he should immediately resign or be expelled so his constituents can be represented by someone who isn't a fraud. Really, Nicole? Huh? Would you like the country to be represented by someone who isn't a fraud? But I'll bet you're a Trump supporter, aren't you, Nicole? Huh? Huh? Now, according to the New York Times, let me share this with you. The 56-page report released yesterday about throwing this fucker out covered now familiar ground about Mr. Santos, but it laid out vivid new details about how he fabricated an entire campaign biography and then sought to fraudulently exploit every aspect of his House candidacy for his own personal financial profit. Why, that's all Donald Trump has done. The report cited extensive records, including text and email messages, bank statements, and other financial documents that had not previously been made public. Ta-da! Now, that was the report from the Ethics Committee yesterday. And in that report, the committee seemed to signal that it viewed this case as unlike any that had come before it ever in the past. Oh, we're just shocked, I tell you, shocked. The report said that lawmakers had considered a request by federal prosecutors to pause their work, but the Ethics Committee decided to proceed anyway because of, get this, quote, a duty to safeguard the integrity of the House and the interests of justice. End quote. I mean, how can you read that shit knowing it's coming out of the U.S. House of Representatives, which is in a death hold by the Christian fascists, and not lose your lunch? Duty to safeguard the integrity of the House and the interests of justice. And he's not fit to serve as a member of the United States House of Representatives. God damn you, George Santos. Go away. Go away. Get out of town. Beat it. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. You know, the Progressive Voices Network brings you commercial-free commentary from today's leading progressive radio hosts and pundits, like me, Mike Malloy, 24 hours a day. I'm not your typical old guy from the 80s or the 90s talk radio host, and Progressive Voices is not your typical talk radio network. It's a listener-supported nonprofit with no corporate control whatsoever over our broadcast. So hosts like me, Mike Malloy, are free to rant and scream and carry on about whatever we like. We're often controversial, but we're never boring. Weeknights, 9 p.m. in the East, 6 p.m. in the West on the Progressive Voices Network. Always progressive, always on. I'm Mike Malloy. Keep it lit.